This video brings an urgent message that Jesus specifically wants you to hear about something people have been saying about your appearance. He has been trying to show you the spiritual meaning behind these comments, but he's concerned you might dismiss them as meaningless chatter. This isn't just about how you look. It contains a divine revelation about your true identity that most people completely miss. Jesus cares so deeply about you understanding who you really are that he would be disappointed if you ignored these repeated comments without seeing their spiritual significance. The message you're about to receive has been carefully arranged to reach you at this exact moment. In your identity journey, there's a divine appointment happening right now as you watch. Don't scroll away, because what you're about to learn could change everything about how you see yourself and your divine purpose in this world. This isn't ordinary feedback about your physical appearance. It's a divine alert about your spiritual identity that represents a critical turning point in understanding who you were created to be. Jesus has been watching how these comments about your looks have affected you, noticing both your confusion and your curiosity about why people keep saying these things. Missing the spiritual meaning behind these repeated observations could mean overlooking a special revelation about your divine calling that's been prepared just for you. These comments mark a limited time spiritual window that's opening in your life right now to understand your true identity. Jesus cares so deeply about you knowing who you really are that he would be genuinely concerned if you failed to recognize this divine communication. That's why this message found you today. Your attention to this video isn't by chance. It's a divinely orchestrated moment designed to help you see the spiritual significance that's been hidden in plain sight all along. Every time someone said you look like a certain type of person, it was noticed by heaven. Every moment of confusion you felt when people made these comparisons has been seen. All the times you've wondered why strangers and friends alike keep making similar observations about your appearance, yet you couldn't understand the pattern, have been acknowledged. Your questions about these repeated comments haven't gone unnoticed. Those moments when you felt puzzled by what people were seeing in you, that you couldn't see yourself, Jesus witnessed your uncertainty. The times when these comparisons made you feel different or set apart, yet you couldn't grasp why. That confusion was recognized in heaven. The effort it took to smile and nod when people made these observations while privately wondering what they really meant has been deeply valued. The identity questions you've carried, sometimes too personal to share with others, have all been heard. Physical appearance comments aren't always just surface observations. Sometimes they carry deeper spiritual significance that requires divine revelation to understand. The spiritual meaning Jesus wants you to recognize appears in the pattern of what people say you look like, but it's often overlooked because it seems too simple to be divine communication. This revelation shows up in repeated comparisons to specific types of people, certain personalities, or particular characteristics that keep catching others' attention about you. It appears in the way strangers comment on your resemblance to someone they know, or friends mention you remind them of certain individuals. The spiritual sign is uniquely meaningful to your specific divine calling, something Jesus has personally designed to reveal your true identity. Through ordinary human observations, it connects directly to the prayers you've been praying about, your purpose, and the questions you've been asking about who you're meant to be. Jesus chose these particular comparisons because they speak to your heart in a language that reveals your spiritual DNA. When you finally see the pattern, you'll understand exactly what Jesus has been trying to show you about your divine identity and calling. When you recognize the spiritual meaning behind what people say you look like, many puzzling aspects of your identity journey will suddenly make perfect sense. Confusing comments about your appearance, random observations from strangers, and repeated comparisons that seemed meaningless will all connect in a beautiful moment of divine clarity about who you really are. Jesus has wonderful news for you. Today, Your spiritual identity is becoming clearer than ever before, and important revelations about your divine purpose are unfolding within and around you now. The divine has captured something unique about your spiritual DNA, and now you've been chosen to receive this special identity revelation. This moment marks something significant in your relationship with your true self. It's a clear indication that your spiritual awareness is growing stronger every day. Something incredibly meaningful is happening in your understanding of who Jesus created you to be, far deeper than surface-level appearance observations. The recognition of this pattern begins a spiritual awakening that will transform how you see yourself and your divine purpose. There's a wave of heavenly attention surrounding your identity development right now. You're becoming more spiritually attuned to divine messages about who you are, naturally drawing identity revelations into your daily experience. Recognizing this pattern about what people say you look like brings a heightened awareness of Jesus's intentional design in even the smallest details of your appearance. More spiritual insights about your true identity will begin flowing to you than ever before. This isn't happening by chance. It's a carefully arranged blessing designed specifically for this season of your spiritual growth. Your prayers about understanding your purpose matter more than you realize. Your spiritual sensitivity about identity inspires heaven to reveal more about who you're meant to be. Your desire to understand yourself makes a difference in the spiritual atmosphere around your life. This divine recognition shows that Jesus deeply values your journey of self-discovery. Jesus delights when you finally see what he's been trying to show you about your authentic spiritual identity all along. The timing of this identity revelation is no coincidence. It appears now because you're spiritually ready to understand and embrace who you really are. This precise moment has been divinely chosen because you've grown in faith and self-awareness enough to handle this truth about your divine design. Your spiritual eyes are now open enough to see identity patterns that might have been invisible to you before. Your heart has expanded through life experiences that prepared you for this self-discovery. Your spiritual wisdom has deepened through questions and searching, making you ready to receive this divine communication about your true self. All the confusion you've faced about your identity and the comments you've received have been preparation for this revelation. Nothing in your journey of self-discovery has been wasted. Every experience has shaped your ability to recognize divine messages about who you are. This particular revelation about your spiritual identity is connected to larger movements of people discovering their true calling and purpose in these important times. If you're feeling blessed by this divine revelation about your true identity, please consider sending a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more to support our channel's mission of sharing these important spiritual messages about self-discovery. Your generosity helps these divine insights reach those who desperately need to understand who they really are. When you give, you participate in a sacred exchange that allows us to continue creating content that connects people with heaven's revelations about their true identity in these critical times of spiritual awakening. As you begin to understand the spiritual meaning behind what people say you look like, new awareness about your divine purpose will naturally develop in your life. This clearer vision of who you are brings new responsibilities, not just to yourself, but to everyone Jesus places in your path who might be struggling with their own identity confusion. Don't view these responsibilities as burdens, but as sacred opportunities to participate in Jesus's work of helping people discover their true selves. This revelation signals it's time to step into spiritual maturity about your divine identity and navigate this chapter with heavenly wisdom and confidence. Finding balance becomes essential during this identity awakening time. While celebrating this new self-awareness, remember to nurture your practical faith through prayer, scripture, and community. These spiritual disciplines have shaped who you are becoming and will continue to support you As you grow into this expanded understanding of your divine design and calling, as you become sensitive to the divine meaning behind appearance comments, think about how you can help others who are still missing the spiritual significance of what people say about them. Your experience shows that Jesus is constantly communicating identity truths through ordinary human observations, even when we fail to notice the pattern. Heaven witnesses every moment of identity awakening, every recognition of divine design, and every choice to embrace who you were created to be. Your story of understanding what these comments really mean brings hope to people feeling confused about their purpose or wondering if they have a special calling. Your awareness becomes a light that helps others develop eyes to see what Jesus is revealing about their own spiritual identity. This revelation about your divine design isn't meant to be a private blessing. It's an invitation to help others experience the same clarity about who they really are. Your newfound self-awareness serves as both personal blessing and ministry, opportunity to guide others toward their true identity. As you navigate this new level of spiritual identity awareness, stay consistently alert to divine messages about who you are. Jesus reminds you that while recognizing this pattern about appearance comments is wonderful, it's just the beginning of a lifetime of divine revelations about your true self. Maintain the spiritual sensitivity that allowed you to see the deeper meaning behind what people say you look like in the first place. Guard against returning to spiritual dullness or self-doubt that made you miss important identity signals in the past. Let your awareness about your divine design continue to flow from genuine faith and daily attention to Jesus' presence in your life. With this new ability to recognize spiritual identity messages comes ongoing responsibility to remain receptive and responsive to heaven's communication. Use this gift wisely to discern true divine revelations about yourself from false spiritual signals or negative self-talk. Embrace this journey of self-discovery with both humility and confidence, showing others that understanding your divine identity comes from staying connected to Jesus daily. Picture a future where you consistently recognize Jesus' messages about your true identity in everything around you. Imagine divine doors opening unexpectedly because you know who you are, spiritual appointments arriving precisely when needed, and your understanding of your divine purpose expanding beyond anything you've experienced before. Jesus stands with you, encouraging you to embrace this journey of spiritual identity with complete trust in His design for your life. This is truly your moment to experience deeper divine connection through understanding who you were created to be. This marks the beginning of a time when your spiritual perception, wisdom, and heart will be more aligned with your authentic self than ever before. Accept this blessing with gratitude, and remember that you're surrounded by divine support on this journey of identity awakening. The path ahead holds countless opportunities to experience Jesus' guidance through revelations that will become increasingly clear to your spiritually attuned awareness of who you really are. If this message has awakened something in your spirit about your true identity, please consider blessing our channel with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or whatever amount feels right to you. Your support creates a beautiful spiritual exchange and allows us to continue sharing these divine revelations about identity with those who need them most. Your generosity helps fund our mission to help others recognize the spiritual messages Jesus is revealing in these important times. If you're ready to acknowledge that you understand the spiritual meaning behind what people say you look like, type 888 in the comments below. The journey of recognizing divine messages about your identity continues beyond this revelation. As you step into new spiritual awareness about who you really are, stay grounded in Scripture and prayer that keeps your understanding of yourself sharp and accurate. Every identity revelation you recognize could be the exact confirmation someone else has been waiting to see about their own divine purpose. Your growing spiritual sensitivity about your true self serves as inspiration for others wondering if Jesus still reveals identity and calling through everyday experiences today. Move forward with an attentive heart, a confident mind, and a responsive spirit ready to embrace who you were created to be. Create opportunities for others to recognize divine identity messages. As you enjoy the clarity coming your way about your authentic self, the spiritual language of identity and purpose has always been part of how Jesus communicates with those who love Him. By choosing to pay attention to these divine signals about who you are, you join a long tradition of faithful followers who have learned to recognize His voice in everything around them, including the simple comments people make about how you look,